Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my new website www.stampwithelaine.com. Today's project is this gorgeous pop-up slider card. I'm using the Grace's Garden stamp set, which has a set of coordinating dies called the Garden Gateway dies. This cuts out the gateway here, and then you can snip it in half so that the gate opens. These are the fences which will cut out this image here, and there are the fence railings here, a cat, a bird, the flowers here, and also a climbing rose and some vine leaves. We're going to be using the gate arbor thing and the climbing rose. The gate, we need it in soft sea foam and one in whisper white and two of these in whisper white. So I've pre-cut those to save time. The stitch rectangle dies, and in the larger nest it's the fourth from the largest. I'm using the Verdant Garden DSP. This is 12 by 12 inch sheets with 2 sheets of each pattern of 6 double-sided designs, and this is the reverse, and the one we're going to be using is this one. For the card base you need 1/4 of a A4 sheet, and this measures 4 1/8 by 5 7/8 in metric. That's 10.5 centimeters by 14.9 centimeters. Garden DSP cut at the same size as this 1/4 piece of A4. For the center tag you need a piece that's 3 inches in width, and then you can trim it off afterwards. And you need another piece of whisper white, because when you pull that, slide that up, you need a piece in here to stamp on, and this piece measures 4 inches by 5 5/8 inches. In metric that will be 10.2 by 14.3 centimeters. Detailed trio punch and a 1-inch circle punch. Tuxedo black memento ink, mint macaron and crumb cake. Petal pink stamping blend combos, so saffron dark, old olive light and purple posy dark. First I'm going to need to glue designer series paper onto this piece of 1/4 size A4 sheet. I need to make sure it's stuck down end to end. Place the stitch rectangle die in the center. Let's put it this way so we can make sure it's in the middle, so that it's equidistant along these 3 borders here. This will be the bottom of your card, and that will be the top. So the top is slightly larger. I'm going to put a bit of washi tape on the top here to make sure that the die doesn't move, and I don't want to cut through the die here, so I'm going to allow the paper, the end of the die, to overhang the plate, and then position my plate just shy of it, and then run it through the Big Shot. Carefully remove the die, make sure it's all cut through, and if it isn't, then use your scissors to do it so it doesn't tear. I want to score 3/8 of an inch from the bottom of this cut here. If I butt it up to the end of my scoreboard, I won't have room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line that up on the 6-inch marker on my scoreboard where I've drawn a chalk mark right down the 6-inch groove, and I'll place my ruler there to keep the cardstock firm and steady, and I'll count 3/8 inches. So at 6 3/8 you want to hover over the side. You're not going to score that, and you just score the centre. Where the end of the cut is, I'm just going to put my ruler there and score between those two cut lines. Bend it back and reinforce it, and the same with this. I want to bend this back, and then I need to create another score line in the middle here. So let's say at 3¼ inches. So now you can see how that's going to slide up and down. Now I'm going to put tear and tape on this portion here. Remove the backing tape. Just shy of the score line, I'm going to put another piece down so that it overlaps the previously double-sided tape, and then I shall remove that and then place this 3-inch width bit, which is 7.6 centimeters, and I want to make sure that it's equidistant between here and here, okay, with that aperture. So that will pull up like that. Bring in my trimmer, and then I can trim this section off. I need to mark the centre of this card. So if I offer it up to the 6-inch line, and then I can gauge from here that it's just hanging over the 3 7/8 and 8 1/8. So I'm going to draw a line very lightly all the way down here. I hope I can see it. No, I can't. Oh, it does help if you put the lead out. And then I need to pull that back into a later punch. And see this little hole here? I need to butt that up to the end, and there's a line down the middle. So if I line it up with a line here where I drew the pencil mark, I can punch. I can punch through both pieces. Okay, so now I can take the 1-inch circle punch and punch out as almost a semicircle, not quite, a finger hole, and that's my tag, and that will pull out. Then I need to take this piece and glue it to the other quarter size piece of A4 mint macaron. Make sure that's equidistant between the two, and then run tape along the 3 sides along here. rub off the pencil mark on the front. This is your tag, so you need to corner round it at the same time. You also need to trace the finger hole here and punch that out. Before you glue it together, you need to put a bit of adhesive on the bottom here. Be careful not to put any on this bit here, but just at the bottom of this edge here to make sure that it doesn't pop up. Okay, I'll bring this card back so you can see what we're doing. So this one will stick to the back of this card, and that's got to be white so that you can stamp on it here. So what I'm going to do is now, let's pull that up. I don't want to stick it down yet, because I need to pull that up and use my pencil to draw here so I know where to stamp. And if I draw here, that will give me an indication of where to stamp as well. So first I'm going to stamp the little cat, and because it's photopolymer stamps, I'm going to need a cushion underneath, because photopolymer stamps don't have a cushion. Next I'm going to stamp this flower in Tuxedo Black Memento ink, and I'm going to stamp a bit of it off the page. And then stamp with all my heart a little bit over to the side. Next I'm going to rub off the pencil marks, and I'm going to do some colouring. Olive, petal pink, purple posy, and so saffron, and mint macaron. Now we can remove the tape. I'll only partially remove it because I want to make sure that it's on straight. Take that bit off. And this is the time to trim it if it's not quite lined up properly. Cut a little bit of ribbon off and loop it and thread it front to back, and put this end through the loop, and then we can trim it. Ow, just cut myself, silly me. So you can see that's the beginning of the slider. Now we need to stamp on this bit here, sure that's in the middle. And rub off the pencil marks. So now we want to cut our gate along this score line here, right in the centre. Bring in my silicone mat, and I'm going to just run a bit of glue on the very edge of this archway. Then you want to adhere this so that the bottom of this is on this point here, so it's above the gateway. Mint macaron ink again, and this time stamp that in the middle here. I'll show you how I stamped the flowers, the pre-die cut flowers. turn it the wrong way up. So this piece goes on the bottom, and you just put it down on one end. Make sure it doesn't move. Press it down, and there you have a stamped piece, and it's not skew whiff or anything. So now we can attach this onto our card, and you only want the bottom half, so I'm just going to put some glue on the bottom piece and stand that up. Make sure it's equidistant, and with the magic of video I've already coloured these, and then this one I'll glue upside down. And hey presto, well, it's not hey presto, it does take quite a bit of work. There's your pop-up slider card. Hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial, and join me again later this week for more inspiration. All the links to the products I've used are below this video in the show more section, or you can head over to my blog, read more about the project there. Thanks for watching. Bye.